and welcome to yet another episode of You Special on Ndtv Hindu. I'm Evelyn Matthew. Now we are in the year 2010, but racism, the issue, still continues to prevail in many nations. Australia, we all know, has been reporting many instances of Indian students being victims of this. We've also known Shilpa Shetty to be an anti-racism icon. We now recognize her as that after her Big Brother stunt. We are today here at the Loyola College campus in Nungambakkam. We're going to discuss whether racism is really prevalent in the college campus itself, and if it's so, why? Let's take opening comments from Jude here. Jude, do you believe there's an amount of racism at your own campus here?
Well, surprisingly, I believe that very much is the case. Despite the fact that we have a lot of anti-racism campaigns and stuff, the fact is that many colleges, and not only colleges, I can vouch for the fact that societies do exhibit a trifle of racism today, despite the fact that racism has been touted to have been completed a long time back. And there are many reasons for the same. I'm sure we'll see a few of them in the course of this debate.
Okay, now when you say racism, are we saying that it's in terms of communities? Maybe, we segregate them as Mallus or Tamils or Biharis. Is that the case of racism you're talking about? If it is, why is it so? Is it because they're comfortable with their own community? Is it because of the language? What could be the reasons?
Well, to be honest with you, I don't think racism is restricted to communities alone. In fact, as on the basis of linguistic differentiation at least, I believe racism more has to do with the age-old, let's say, social strata that existed, where you have possibly the Brahmins, Kshatriyas, right to the SC/STs as we call them today.
The casteism.
Yes, and the single most important reason for this, I'm sure that many would disagree with me, but the fact is the reason for racism to be so prevalent today is the fact that the quota-based system is continued even today in society, and that's one simple reason why the bias still exists and hard feelings still exist. For the fact that you thought by introducing quota or reservation you would make do with racism, but the fact is that racism is more intense today for the simple fact that you're dividing the community more and more on the simple basis of the community itself.
It's actually quite disturbing that we are in the year 2010 and this still exists. Do you believe it's because of the quota system? Why is there racism? What are the kinds of racism you see in the campus?
It's more racism, I would say. You have it as a different manifestation. You call it racism, but what about the fact? My first question would be, I would question the authenticity of it. I mean, would you necessarily have, why would you need a reservation system basically in the college campuses? This, in fact, I would say 1/3 of the country is already below the poverty line. And also you have the fact that about NSS survey where they said about 72 million children are still working. So at this juncture, do we really need a reservation system?
Apart from the reservation itself, now that's been a lot of a topic that's been debated upon. But apart from that, community-wise, maybe by the looks, by the color, do you see a kind of gang community? Are there gangs in your college? Maybe a gang of Malayalis, a gang of Biharis, North Indians versus South Indians. Do you see that happening?
I have seen a lot lately in schools where I've studied, but in the colleges I think it's comparatively less.
Why is it so? Why is that a difference?
I think because it's more to do with the fundamental mind of every student. As in when they walk into the college, you find there's a lot of fundamentalism you find. You find initially it starts with a noble deed. You want to talk to everyone, but ultimately you restrict yourself to certain form of groups because you feel you have a touch with them. So that set of fundamentality you find that has been grown up in colleges today. At least to begin with my class, I would say.
Okay, but still we have a lot of these, jokes that are sent around on SMSs, Sardar jokes. You see a Mallu and you say, hey, he's got coconut oil on his hair. Do you get a lot of that? You're the welfare secretary for the PG department. Do you hear a lot of that, Santosh?
Yes, Evelyn, but these Sardar jokes are actually taken in good spirit. So I don't think people mind them much. Now, coming to Jude's point, he had stressed upon the reservation system and that actually stratifying the student community in Loyola. I don't think I completely agree with it because this is a college which has given a lot of opportunities to students who belong to the economically underprivileged section. So here, if you prove yourself, if you show your competence and potential, then you're accepted, the doors are open to you. But after a certain level you realize that if you're in the minority, then you have to face a very unfair deal. It's the majority wins. For example, if you are from North India, then a Madrasi per se is considered as a caricature there. But here it seems like Northi. Northi has connotations that people don't take bath, they are boorish.
Really?
The language is very crude. So such notions are prevalent, and it's very hard to actually get out of this
From
mindset.
that mode, yeah, okay.
Yeah, so the kind of complaints that have come, the kind of grievances that have come from people are that we belong to a minority, people make fun of us, they pass stereotype comments,
Right.
and so we'll go back and never return to South India. That's very sad because we should look at it from both sides, that we should also try our best to understand, adjust, adapt,
Absolutely.
and get into the mainstream community, enjoy their food, enjoy their culture, their songs and dances. Because I think that here in Loyola, Tamil Nadu has the richest, one of the richest cultures
Yes.
in India and the world also.
Absolutely.
So if we keep our eyes and ears open, then we'll get accepted. And yeah, I would like to know what the others have to say.
All right.
now.
Rajiv, I want to ask you, have you faced such instances? Have people, made comments about the way you look? Have they poked fun at you? Have they stared at you when you maybe walk down the college?
Yeah, over here in college, I haven't seen anything about it regarding that.
Right.
But outside the college, I feel more like, when I go on the on the road, they will say that some like chinky, like they'll use the terms like that.
Right.
And then I feel like they are not grateful. Like, I don't think that they are racism over like. I don't think in the way of racism in that.
Okay.
I feel thinking like in the way of grateful that. But over here in college, in Loyola College, I haven't found anything because we over here we met friends with all Tamil friends, Malu friends, everything with all
Okay.
communities, and we enjoy the cultures of other communities also.
So it's a great
And
unity in
yeah, a great
diversity.
unity
That's
in
what India is
diversity.
all about,
Yeah.
right? Do you see that happening in the campus? Do you feel comfortable when you walk out on the roads?
Exactly. When I first came in, like I was like I felt very strange, like okay, guys looking up at me, and then like I got a few comments, hi Japanese and hi Chinese. But then like later on, I come to know like it's not much in campus, like as in like he said, it's in railway stations when you move out of hostels and all, like when you work out, and then they'll be like, okay, here comes another northeastern girl, and like then I have to say no, I'm from West Bengal, and I feel bad like when I say like they'll ask me where are you from, are you Manipuri or are you Khasi or something, I'll be like no, I'm from West Bengal, and I really feel bad, to say like as if like even I am biased type, like no, I'm not from Northeast.
Right.
But then like sometimes like I accept it, like yeah, fine, it's okay. But then like in college campus, like it's very welcoming out here. I have many friends, more than of my place. I've got more of Tamil friends and more of Malayali friends here, and I feel like they're very nice.
And you've
actually.
mingled in the right way. You
Yeah,
like the
it all
culture, the
depends
food.
upon-
You have not had any.
No, I don't have problem. In fact, I love Tamil foods. Like,
Okay.
the reason why I've come here is because I
You
just
like the
wanted
curd
to be
rice
here.
and the sambar rice?
Yeah, I love sambar rice and curd rice, yeah.
Okay.
And like, I really wanted to be here, exactly speaking.
Okay.
It was my like a dream come true to be here in Chennai.
All right, that's great.
But if I could just interrupt there for a second, but that's exactly the point. The fact is, each community has its pros and cons, and each
Right.
community is going to be made fun of in another community. For example, the Americans make fun of the Canadians,
Yeah.
and the Britishers make fun of the Americans,
Yeah.
and we Indians have a number of communities within ourselves to make fun of each other.
Absolutely.
That's the lighter part of the whole thing. But there are more serious issues to racism than just making fun of people, because everyone makes fun of everyone else.
Yeah.
And I think those issues need to be addressed for the simple fact that you are still considered a lower community
Yeah.
or a higher community, despite the fact that racism has been abolished
Okay,
ages
we're
back.
going to explore those factors you're going to talk about, all of that and much more, whether institutions itself, promote racism in one way or the other. We're going to explore all of that on the other side. Do stay with us on You Special.